Think about sitting in a truck at a wellhead that's serviced by Haliburton, owned by, let's say, ExxonMobil, and you're there with no restrooms, no ability to get a cold drink for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, maybe only 2, up to as much, from what I've heard, 36 hours. You get off that line because you can't take it anymore. You are penalized $200, probably fired, because you had to pee.
Here's a short list of things not to be fucked with. Texas. And truckers in Texas. This is West Texas in the Permian Basin. It's where 40% of the oil that America produces comes from. That's 6 million barrels of oil every single day. If it were a country, it'd be one of the largest producers of oil in the world. But like you can see, the wealth that comes from all of this oil production doesn't naturally just trickle down. People have to fight for every scrap of that. And we came down here to talk to truck drivers who are doing exactly that.
Explain to me, how can the oil field be making billions of dollars and yet paying trash money to the truck drivers?
Sí, venimos a hacer una protesta, más que nada para el bienestar de nuestras familias.
They're fighting for fair working conditions like restrooms and facilities with air conditioning, and to be paid for every hour and every day that they work.
De 12 a 13 horas para tirar un viaje. Para descargar un viaje. ¿Y cuánto te pagaron por estar en espera esas 13 horas? No, nada. Lo que vale el viaje. Y no te pagan por el diésel, no te ayudan cuando vas a esperar.
If they keep us like we are today, we won't be able to keep running.
Back in 2014, each load was over $1,000 a load. Now, it's less than $500 a load. The prices went up on fuel, everything went up, but yet our wages keep on going down. It doesn't make any sense at all.
I spent a day with Oscar Lobos, a trucker in West Texas who's trying to organize an international alliance, American and Mexican truckers, to fight back against corporate greed.
Estamos haciendo una huelga, compa, contra las areneras. Ahorita si querés.
Oscar, like a lot of truckers in West Texas, does a lot of work transporting frac sand, an essential component to Big Oil's fracking operations in the Permian Basin. Those buildings over off in the distance, everything is flat.
Those are silos. So we drive the truck underneath those big old tubes, yep, and they drop sand into your trailer right there. Once they drop the sand, you just haul butt to the oil well, where they're fracking, and go from there.
Pick up from the sand mine, drop off at the oil well. Sounds easy, but it's not. Drivers sometimes have to line up for hours to get the sand, then sit and wait for hours when they have to unload the sand. And all that wait time is unpaid.
I was there for like 32 hours, and it didn't bring me a soda. I didn't get nothing to eat from anybody to check up on us how we were doing. When we asked, hey, can we go get a soda? No, you can't. You gotta stay here and wait.
They only pay you when you lose. Wait time, they don't give nothing.
You think this is unfair?
Very, very unfair.
And when you're waiting, your truck is running. And if your truck is running, you're wasting fuel. And if you're wasting fuel, you're wasting money. We're hoping to get, all hours worked, all hours paid.
Drivers like Oscar are what are called owner-operators. They're not direct employees of the mines or the oil companies. They own and maintain their trucks and are contracted by a middleman for deliveries. Middlemen who they say aren't looking out for them.
They used to pay us fuel surcharge to help us with our fuel. They cut that out too. So there's a bunch of things that they've been doing to cutthroat our industry and the owner-operators in this field. I give you, for instance, I made over 180,000 2021. Okay, over half of that went on overheads, went on fuel, tires, parts. not to mention workman's comp and all these other, insurance that we have to pay.
And during the 2, 10, sometimes 30-hour waits, they only have access to the most questionable facilities.
It's a porta john, dude. And imagine 110 degrees out here with like 40, 50 drivers waiting to get unloaded for 20 hours. Don't you think they're gonna want to use the restroom?
So just like this, outside of a big sand pit, you're sitting, it's hot, and you're how many hours in a place like this? What's a range?
I've waited here for up to 6 hours, just in line waiting, because there was no sand, it wasn't ready, just a bunch of lame excuses.
And right behind us here is what you got in terms of facilities, is that right?
And those are the restrooms that we have.
That right there?
That right there, which right now it's 90 degrees, and that thing even has a little mountain coming up, and so you go in there, you open that up, and you have 90 degrees weather, and that nasty stuff, with the mountain inside of it.
Is it a special design that they put it also right next to the dumpster here?
I guess they want us to smell it. They want us to smell everything, so.
Want to top it off?
I guess so. That's, be my guess. But man, I wouldn't go in there.
I'll pass.
Who are these people? What right have they got to tell truck drivers we don't have toilets in the frac sand lines and in the wellheads? Go piss in a bottle or shit in a bucket.
That's Billy Randall. Tell us about yourself, who you are, and what you do.
I raise hell, a lot of it, for more than 50 years. I am an organizer, a truck driver, and the co-founder of Truckers Movement for Justice.
Billy's a trucker from New York who got into organizing in West Texas when he heard some of the horror stories from truckers like Oscar.
I told you we were going to have some fun.
How you feeling, Billy? Feeling good?
Now I am, hell yeah. Once I start blocking trucks and making sure drivers know who the hell we are and what this is all about, shit, yeah, I'm feeling good.
And so, they got organizing.
And we ain't going to stop until we get what we want, which is a national written agreement between truckers, the industry, and the government to set standards for every driver.
Maybe we didn't disrupt your frac sand production and your oil production yesterday. I don't know. We didn't try to. What we tried to do was spread the message of organizing. And we're going to make it so that our families, our communities, have a sustainable future based on the idea and the concept of solidarity.
At some point, all huge movements that end up really changing things, I think, look something like what we saw down here with truckers in the Permian Basin. It was a small group of people who were fed up with how they were being treated at work and decided to actually do something about it. And this is the stuff of real movements, because to a person, every trucker that was stopped immediately knew what this group was talking about.
Incluso yo estoy pensando en regresar
¿Regresarte a dónde?
a la Florida.
¿Tú te quieres regresar a la Florida, trabajar un trabajo normal porque no te pagan?
Se paga lo mismo.
Está pagando lo mismo, está pagando lo mismo.
Y aquí tenemos.
Are you tired of not getting paid while you're waiting to get unloaded?
Yes.
Are you tired of waiting and not getting paid here?
Yes.
Okay, join our group. The companies are keeping all this money and stealing from the drivers without them needing to steal from us. If they just paid us what was fair, we wouldn't be in this manifestation. We wouldn't be talking to other drivers. We wouldn't be getting all these other drivers together. But they're making us do this. The industry's pushing us to push back.
We carry the economy on our backs. You done broke our backs. Now we're gonna break your economy. Excuse my language.
Thank you so much for watching our video. If you'd like to see more stories like this one, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to get more Perfect Union in your feed. And if you have any ideas for stories that you would like for us to investigate, just drop them in the comments below.